Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today is July 24, 2019, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, starting out at 9:30 South African time. Coming out of Germany, we have a flash manufacturing PMI number coming out, and simultaneously a flash services PMI number coming out of Germany as well. Now, there's two reasons why this is a really important number. First of all, it's coming out of Germany, which is the largest economy in Europe. Okay, so that's really an important factor. And secondly, it's an inflationary number as well. So that's really important. So just be aware that this number is going out. Now, before this number comes out, looking at the markets, the euro and the Aussie dollar breakdown versus the USD, we're going to take a look at that. The Dow Jones is back on its highs, just about 40 to 50 points away. And looking at the commodities, gold pretty much unchanged while oil bounces. Looking at the stocks of what took us higher yesterday, the bank stocks, Bank of America broke out on the upside. We'll take a look at that as well. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is below 10,000 again. So the question is, are we trading in a new range? Okay, so these are the questions we're going to ask today. And let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect. So we're taking a look here at the Euro USD on a daily chart. And yesterday we were trading about 112.20-ish level, right about right here. And I said yesterday, you know, these type of days where you're trading in the summer, it's light volume, you start trickling down, and then all of a sudden you get a capitulation, you get some momentum, and you find yourself making an extreme move either on the downside or the upside. And sure enough, that's what we got yesterday. We were on the downside. Once we broke it at 112.04-ish level, that was it. And we broke down to 1150-ish level. Okay, now the point is that altogether this is about a 50 pip move, okay, which is not a massive move for the Euro USD, but considering it's the summer, okay, this is very atypical. Okay, that's number one. Number two is, secondly, we are back on this threshold, on this support level as we enter today's number, okay, which sometimes means that they take it lower and they put it on this threshold just to fade it, okay, and it's going to make a counter move, possibly on the upside. All right, so if you are deciding to trade this today, these are the two things I would suggest you keep in mind. Number one, if we do break this 1140-ish level, we may see ourselves testing the downside. However, if you see it solidifying along this line right here, we may bounce. Okay, and if that bounce comes, we may just bounce back to this 1220-ish level. So keep that in mind, okay? So two scenarios that could possibly happen today with the number coming out. Now, looking at the Aussie dollar, this is actually a 1 hour chart. Let's jump into a daily just to give us a perspective here. We're pretty much still trading in a range, okay? The fact that we broke above this upper range right here is meaningless, because at the end of the day, if we can't sustain above that line, okay, above this 69.97-ish level, okay, 7.70-ish level, that means that we are not as strong as we think we are, and we're doomed for a correction, possibly further on the downside. 69.55-ish level is that possible downside. So we may just find ourselves trading in a new range. Okay, so let's look at a 4 hour chart just to give us that perspective. The upper range possibly being 70, 80-ish level, and the lower range somewhere in the 69-ish level. Okay, so the fact that we have this resistance level is almost meaningless if it's not going to honor it and if it's not going to hold the line. Okay, it's not going to bounce off of it, or it's not going to, you know, be a resistance off of it. It's becoming meaningless to us. Okay, even though the 70-ish level psychologically is an important number, but you can see that that's not being sustained. Now, jumping into oil, we got a little bit of a move on the upside. We're looking at a daily chart. Let's move to a 4 hour chart just to give you that perspective. We had a minor support level of $55 a barrel, and sure enough, we bounced off of it. Now remember, we are entering the hurricane season. August, September is hurricane season, so just keep your eyes peeled on it, okay, because many times the the price of oil is fluctuated by that, so just be aware of that. Now, jumping into the Dow Jones, we're right there, okay? We're looking at a 4 hour chart just to give us a perspective of where we're trading. 27,318, 27,390 is your high. So we're just about 70 points below it, excuse me. So with that said, with the numbers coming out later today, let's see how that actually unfolds. Okay, the numbers I'm talking about is really the FANG stocks that are coming, and they're going to be actually presenting this week. So keep that in mind as this fruites itself. Now, looking at that Bank of America, big gap up and go above $30 a share, and that's an important move for the Bank of America, as we haven't been trading in this area for quite some time. If we look at a daily chart just to give us a perspective, this is an important move, and this is a massive move, especially for the summer, to be trading above $30 a share, and especially with this gap and go. So, it may take it up above the 30.55 level. I'll keep an eye on that as well. Looking at Microsoft, also very resilient. Okay, we sold off from $39. We closed that gap. Okay, now we're filling in that gap and then some. Okay, so if we do get this momentum on the upside, we could see it break out higher. Lastly, looking at Bitcoin, we're trading at 96.67, breaking this 10,000 area, which it's much more significant than the Aussie dollar 0.70 area, as you can see. So with that said, we did get to this 94.29ish area. However, like I said, it's got to sustain itself. So it may find itself just trading in a new range, with the upper range again at 10,856 and the bottom range 94.29. But this does have to solidify in order to sustain somewhat of an upward momentum. Okay, it doesn't look like it's sustaining that any longer. It just looks like it's going to trade within a new range, which is fine. Okay, in the interim, it could just happen that it does trade within that new range until there's a catalyst to move it up higher. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.